She was a believer, and a believer who believed she was doing God's work. But when those two worlds collided, the fallout became explosive. As auditors open the first flagged file, chills ripple across the room. There's an entry dated months earlier, a wire transfer signed off by her, with a memo, God's direction. They stare. She hears footsteps outside the door, and someone clearing their throat behind her shoulder. She sat on the third pew, same spot every Sunday. A purple scarf wrapped carefully around her tightly curled hair. Bible in hand, lips slightly parted in worship. To the untrained eye, she looked like the epitome of grace. But behind that well-coordinated outfit, that practiced smile, and that seemingly unwavering faith, something deeper stirred, something darker. They called her Mama Faith. Not because she was old, she was only in her early 40s, but because she was revered, respected, almost feared. She prayed the loudest, spoke in tongues the longest, and always had a word from God that people scrambled to hear. Even pastors waited to hear her dreams. Even elders asked her to lay hands. No one dared question her, because she was the woman who once gave her last salary to the church, lived without light for weeks, and still danced joyfully. The woman who carried 2 orphan children for 6 years, until their mother returned from prison. The woman who was always first at the altar and last to leave. So, when she suddenly bought a new SUV, no one asked how. When she moved into a gated estate, it was seen as a harvest from heaven. And when she began traveling abroad for missions, the congregation clapped. They called her chosen, favored, God's vessel. But no one knew, absolutely no one knew, that behind that wide smile was a woman who was pulling strings, signing checks, forging names, and laundering more than just spiritual garments. It all started with a receipt. One small receipt. Brother Samuel was just a volunteer in the finance unit. Quiet, unmarried, and always wearing oversized suits. The kind of guy nobody noticed. But he had a gift, numbers. And one afternoon, while reconciling offerings from the annual fruitfulness convention, he noticed a strange entry. $10,000 was marked as international donation, but there was no such donation. There had been no foreign guests, no international wires, just local envelopes, mostly crumpled, filled with naira notes and written prayer requests. He squinted, double-checked, and then went to the head of finance. But the head of finance simply laughed. "Don't stress it, Sam. Mama Faith handled it. She said God instructed it." Instructed what?